Today, I want to talk with you about 3 different types of men. First are simps, men who will put any girl on a pedestal. The second are introverts, men who are not the most socially successful. The third are nice guys, guys who will do anything for other people. So 3 things: simps, introverts, nice guys. Simps, introverts, nice guys. Simps, introverts, nice guys. Are you getting it yet? These are not 3 different types of men. It's one type of guy. And we're calling it the OnlyFans men.
Alright, simping isn't bad. Simping is king shit, okay?
It's big simping, baby! Defending everything a girl does, liking all of her tweets, spending $500 on her used underwear. Look, we've all done it before. That's nothing new.
What is a new phenomenon, however, are the plethora of girls who have created an entrepreneurial business out of selling nude and lewd pictures of themselves to followers on sites like OnlyFans and Patreon. Racking in over $10,000 a month in some cases, these women blur the lines between sex work and content creation. Each OnlyFans page supplies an endless feed of arousing photos and clips catered directly to their followers, who in turn are charged a varying monthly fee. Who exactly are the type of people willing to showcase their bodies all over the internet with an OnlyFans account? Who are the anonymous users paying money to feast their eyes upon these fair maidens? And most importantly of all, why would anyone pay for nude content when it's available everywhere online for free? In order to get down to the bottom of this, I've spoken with several prominent OnlyFans models who shared their stories with me. I've also had the opportunity to speak with a couple earnest and open followers of OnlyFans accounts who provided insight from the perspective of a subscriber. On the surface, OnlyFans and sites like it seem like nothing more than a superficial exchange of money for FAP material. But I've come to learn that beneath this veneer, there's a dark thread tying together fans and models alike. Now, look, I know a lot of you want me to tear apart these girls. You want me to call them thoughts. You want me to call the men who pay for them simps and losers. And I could do that, okay? But nothing will change. No one will learn anything new. No, there are much deeper societal issues at play here. Maybe, instead of tearing each other down, we can help people.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking? I mean, maybe we should be doing something more meaningful with our lives. Like helping people.
OnlyFans launched in 2016 under the parent company Phoenix International Limited. The premise of the site is simple. Users have the freedom to reveal as much of their bodies as they want in the form of photos and videos, which are locked behind a paywall. It has everyone from the innocent girl next door to the experienced adult performer to dominatrixes and even grandma.
This is getting ridiculous.
Don't forget about men, YouTubers, and virtual hentai girls as well. To access these provocative pictures, followers of these accounts pay anywhere from $5 all the way up to $20 a month. In addition, fans also pay to privately message these models. OnlyFans has had a substantial surge in popularity, having paid out over $400 million to its over 260,000 creators as of March 2020. To put things into perspective, one of the top models on the site, Dani Harwood, started her page in 2016 and made a mere $257 in her first month. Fast forward to 2018 and she earned $52,760 in November alone. In 2019, another thick model, Gem Wolfie, managed to grow a following of 10,000 people, each paying $10 a month. Twitch streamer Anissa Joma, who launched an OnlyFans account on March 9th, amassed over 2,500 followers, paying $12 a month in under 10 days. These kinds of figures make the wages of a medical doctor, pharmacist, and even a Twitch streamer seem like chump change by comparison. Maybe that's why so many women, including Twitch streamers, have begun OnlyFans pages of their own. For the models I spoke with, the earnings from OnlyFans have been nothing short of a life changer.
Right now, it's my main source of income. I'm making about $4,000 a month right now.
I had a $4,000 dental bill because I needed my wisdom teeth out and I don't have insurance, and they covered it in like 2 weeks.
I made like 17 grand in like a couple months.
So it's much better than streaming, for example.
It's much better than streaming ever was, period.
Normally I make around 1,000, which is enough to, which is enough to pay the property taxes on this place and get food and stuff like that.
So you're really, relying on that, it sounds like.
Yes, highly.
Beyond simply looking attractive, there also seems to be a strong correlation between how much effort models put into interacting with their fans and how likely they are to have fans. Access to adult content on the internet is nothing new, and I don't have to tell you that, but there is something that endless amounts of pornography does not provide: meaningful interaction. I asked 2 anonymous subscribers, who will be going by the names Rain and Coach respectively for this video, what kept them paying for OnlyFans.
It's because of the connections you make, because when you watch porn, like, I don't know, you wanna fap, you wanna jerk off, and you find a video and you like anything you want to watch and you jerk off to it. So it's like minutes, and I don't have any connection to the girl. I don't know their names.
At the time, it actually wasn't more for the porn. It's more for just the connection, because I was dealing with a lot of loneliness because a lot of my friends had left high school and stuff, and I had no one to talk to, and that's why I started using it.
And the models I spoke with also acknowledged the importance of interaction as a part of their business.
I mean, this is their money. I mean, porn is free, and they're choosing to give you, money that they've like slaved over. Like, that's their like labored money, and they're giving to you, just some random girl online that like takes their clothes off. So it's like there has to be some sort of praise, I guess, in a sense, gratefulness, that kind of stuff. And I feel like they would see it as almost disrespectful if I didn't like respond back to them like as fast as I could. And I've gotten so overwhelmed to where I've had like backed up DMs for like 15 days that I had to like go through and respond to and like apologize and then give them free stuff because I wasn't responding fast enough, and I felt bad.
I really think videos isn't like the majority part of it. Like, it is for some people, but some people really love the interaction that I give to them, which is you can't get from Pornhub.
They aren't looking to make close friends or find relationships through OnlyFans. And it seems like this is an unspoken understanding between them and their followers.
This is probably too deep for this type of interview, but I feel that when you want someone really badly and you can't have them, it hurts more than just being alone. So I'd rather just like work on myself and hang out and do things with friends than like obsess over someone that's like not there.
Did you ever try to get with this model or any model?
Not really. Like, the closest I could have got to that model is they live like 10 hours away from me where one of my uncle lives. That was like the closest I could get, but even then I wasn't really pursuing it.
That happened on my weekends a few years ago. Like, I tried to get with a model. Like, it just scares the models and it's not healthy. Mostly for you, because you get obsessed. And I fell in love with a couple models before, and it's really unhealthy.
These men were under no illusion that they had a chance of getting with the models they subscribed to, and yet they continued paying money despite this.
But I would say I spent roughly, just on OnlyFans, I spent like 150 to 200 bucks just on subscriptions.
But I only spent about 100 to 200.
So that's the price of OnlyFans. But what are the costs? For the models, earning money doesn't come free of charge. By diving deeper, I discovered that there were social costs associated with using the site.
Word travels fast. When one person sees it, it spreads like a wildfire. And I come from a very conservative family, very religious, a lot of military, and I'm from a military town. And I went through a lot. I went through a lot of slut shaming, a lot of depression, a lot of suicidal thoughts. It was rough at first, and my family still dislikes what I do. But at the same time, they still love me and accept me, and they're still there for me. And I found out who my real friends were and who the fake ones were.
That is always a struggle, to find somebody who's okay with you doing that kind of stuff, with you selling pictures, with you, like, everybody seeing you already, like, because they're already on Google. Like, obviously no one wants to introduce their girlfriend to someone and then the other person's like, wow, I jacked off to your girlfriend, neat, like, stuff like that, obviously. So that's been an issue. I've had guys say that it's fine, because I'll tell someone straight off the bat, and I've had them tell me it's fine, and then 6 months into the relationship they'll tell me it's actually not fine and they were just pretending the whole time, and then they'll, like, go off on you and say that you were cheating on them by posting the pictures, and that's happened to me before.
So trust is an issue almost on your side.
I don't say
of
it's
things.
Trust, it's more like they feel shame and they don't want to feel shame.
Beyond facing backlash from family and friends, models also have to come to terms with the genie out of the bottle effect, as I like to call it. A perfect illustration of this came with the great OnlyFans leak of February 2020, in which terabytes of content from the site, normally behind a paywall, were made public and posted on Twitter for all to see. Aside from their bodies, this event also highlighted the recurring, inescapable reality that each model has to face. Once you put these images of yourself out there, you can't take them back.
Because it ruins our image. Like it's making it harder to cover up the footprints. Does that make sense? When all of the pictures are on there, it's not that we're trying to hide the fact that we're doing NSFW. It's just the fact that obviously you know that once the pictures are out there, they're out there forever, and that's your face. It sucks because you will never have that privacy back. Like, that's just something you can never get back, and you can never cover that up, no matter how hard you try.
Social isolation is mirrored on the other side of the screen as well, amongst the men who pay for these models.
At the time when I was talking to that person, there was a girl at my college, actually in one of my classes. I actually kind of liked her, but I was like, oh, I'm doing this, so I don't want to like drop this for that or have her find out. So I didn't pursue that girl, and eventually she would transfer colleges. The way I saw it, I was like, I could take a risk. I could drop this and take a risk with this girl, but it might not work out. But if I keep going with OnlyFans, I'm guaranteed to get attention. So as long as I, pay for it.
A lot of times I prefer to stay home and see that kind of stuff than to go out, So a lot of friendships and parties and stuff like that I could have, I could have connected to other people outside of my house. I didn't, because I prefer to stay home, so it affected me like that.
Many people online have been debating the morality of OnlyFans. Is it right? Is it wrong? And if you were to ask me, I would not engage in a moral discussion, but I'd rather point out the outcomes of OnlyFans. And that seems to be that both men and women are further isolating themselves from each other. And they're participating in a service that capitalizes on loneliness. And that market only continues to expand. Enter egirl.gg. a site where one can pay for the companionship of girl or guy gamers. League of Legends, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, pick from any popular online game, scroll down to the page of profiles, and pay anywhere from $1 all the way up to $20 for the time and attention of your dream gaming partner. Each profile has an avatar, a short bio, and I kid you not, a voice recording of the user.
Hi there, my name is Jenny. 안녕하세요, Ohio. My name is Lindy and I'm an ex-professional World of Warcraft player. Now I'm trying to become an Overwatch main. I play main support.
In a practical sense, sites like OnlyFans and eGirl are running a simulation of sorts. Through a very artificial and transactional way, they provide some sort of meaningful interactions in the lives of people who need that sense of connection and romance. But why stop there? Who's to say that real, live people need to be the ones fulfilling those needs?
Finally, I'm real. Hey fam, thanks for coming to my VTuber debut. I'm Melody. I bet you have a lot of questions.
Meet Melody, a 3D rendered avatar voiced and acted by a real girl who otherwise has no physical body at all. She's a projection of whatever you want her to be. In this case, an anime girl with perfectly round breasts, thick thighs, and a shapely bottom. Every weeaboo neckbeard's wet dream come to life.
It is up to you. I will make a poll. Note to self, make a poll, make a poll, make a poll. Melly, make a poll.
In a short amount of time, Project Melody, as she's called, has taken the world of online streaming by storm, frequently rising to the most viewed channel on Chatterbait, now verified on Twitter, garnering thousands of viewers on Twitch, producing videos on YouTube, and yes, even making an OnlyFans account. She's already caused uproar amongst journalists and media outlets, some claiming she's proof that gamers hate all women because, of course, and others saying the opposite. Politicalization aside, the concept itself is something straight out of the uncanny valley, and quite honestly, it's genius. The appeal of Melody reaches far and wide. Shy, introverted, and socially unsuccessful men will gush over the prospects of interacting with a virtual girl who sounds and acts just like a real one. Except, unlike a real girl, there are no flaws, no boyfriend, no bad moods, no drama, no body, no problem. It's fantasy come to life. And I suspect Project Melody is just the first of many to come. Suddenly, films like Her and Ex Machina seem less like science fiction and more like science fact.
People who don't have real sex experience thinking that this is what a real woman or man is going to be like, and we already, I think, see some of that issue with all of the photoshopping and alterations that go on in media, of people thinking that boobs are perfect circles that are constantly up to your chin or something like that. And I think that could be a problem.
Robot sex, yeah, they have the VR girlfriends. I mean, it's really disturbing. Like, people aren't going to leave their fucking houses anymore. They won't.
I think we're monetizing loneliness, actually. Because a lot of people who buy these, they're lonely people, and then people are taking advantage of that.
10 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if technology cut out the middlemen and women entirely. It's conceivable that full-on AI will be enough like the real thing to satisfy people's needs for companionship and social interaction. Or will it? Both of the men I spoke to harbored feelings of shame and regret for subscribing. It did satisfy their needs to an extent, but that was part of the problem. By satisfying their desires online, they didn't grow in real life.
But the relationship aspect of it, like those kind of websites they give me, like if I don't want to talk, I can just shut off my computer, shut off my phone. I don't have to deal with people, if I don't want to. But I lose like sex and touching and kissing and stuff like that. It has made me even consider like paying for like an escort, and so I never did that, but it made me consider because of the loneliness sometimes.
And these online sources of attention can turn into addiction for some.
Once I started, And I was like, oh, it felt pretty good to write that paper. I remember the first like task I did, an accident paper. I did a task, like, oh, that was pretty satisfying. I helped her out. And I was like, oh, that's pretty satisfying. So I kept doing it, but eventually it kind of faded away. Kind of like an addiction, how you need more and more. So I could see it becoming very addictive. And if you go on some of their like subreddits, that'll actually say like relapse has never felt so good. Relapse meaning you're going back to it.
However, for both of the men I spoke to, there was light at the end of the tunnel.
But I'm okay. I'm finishing my studies, and I'm gonna focus on my personal life more this year. That's my plan. I'm gonna lay low on the subscriptions and people online, and focus on me more, so I can like have more friendships and go out more.
Finally, once after a couple months of quitting, I took a chance and went on a date with a girl, and it ended up working out, and I date her right now. But I would not have taken that chance of even going out with a girl if I was subscribed to OnlyFans still. I wouldn't even have thought about it.
In the 1970s, Dr. Bruce Alexander conducted what was known as the rat park experiments. In one group, Alexander placed rats alone in a cage that offered 2 water bottles, one filled with water and the other laced with cocaine. While in these cages, the solitary rats would prefer the cocaine-laced bottles and drink themselves into an overdose, exhibiting every sign of classic addiction. In a different group, rats were placed in the same cage with the same 2 bottles, but this time they were placed in there with several other rats. This provided the opportunity for the rats to socialize, have sex, and interact with each other. And what's fascinating is that these social rats only occasionally drank from the cocaine-laced bottle and did not overdose. The rats preferred the stimulation from socializing with others rather than the stimulation from the drug. While innovating new ways to simulate real-life interactions, we are neglecting the greatest interactions already available to us in the real world. Attention, connection, companionship, and love, the means to achieve all of this already exists inside each of us. Loneliness ties together fans and followers across sites and services like OnlyFans, Project Melody, and more. A void of connection and companionship attempting to be filled with technology. However, that fulfillment doesn't come through a screen. It comes from people. Deeper than lust, money, and even attention, people seek connection. The paths towards that are numerous, but they all start with people. Stop being a fan and start embarking on your own journey of connection.
The world has turned and left me